bull. So that's why my spots are a little different than leverage, because I'm willing to hold them for a while. Yeah, I don't think I have like a long-term hold list that I've posted somewhere, but it's just because I haven't necessarily made one. Like, I have a portfolio tracker of my own for my spot trades and all my investments, but I don't really have like a list. I appreciate that, Pratt. I definitely try to have consistent updates, and for any of my spot trades too, I like talking about them every once in a while. Earnings per TA are posted in the channel, but how can on average be made monthly of the total account as if you're risking, say, 2% as well? Because I don't understand the percent profit. Trying to think. Yeah, like, so in terms of like you're risking certain amounts of your account per trade. When it comes to spot, it's a little different because it's your TPs are also dependent on like your TP levels, the amount of profits you take at them. It's kind of just dependent on how much money you're risking per trade. So if it's 2 to 4% of your port, in my opinion, taking like a third of your profits at your first TP and just setting your stops break even on a spot trade, it guarantees you profits in a way. So, and that at that point, it kind of just depends on your own risk tolerance as a like trader, because you can take more profits at TP1 than like 33% of your total amount of margin in that trade, or you can take less and be more aggressive and be less aggressive and wait for higher TPs. That part is kind of just up to you. All right. Oh, good questions, guys. So just looking at Bitcoin here, we are at an interesting position because overall, like, I'm not sure why people got like overly bearish on this chart. It was surprising to me just because, for example, here on BTC, we ended up making a daily higher high compared to these highs. And so what that told me is scouting for a potential higher low was the play. The reason that I didn't give a bunch of leverage calls though in this area is because this chop was going around for like 2 weeks. And in my opinion, whenever you have such low volatility, I thought, like, and if you guys are following me on my Twitter, I basically said that, last night things were getting really monotonous and the market was getting boring, people calling tops. So that's when I was like more positioning long. But at the same time, it was basically also to show that, these things can take time, like having a pop in the market and a move up. I said basically, like, the saying is never short a dull market. Whenever things are boring and sideways, usually it ends with a stronger volatility move, and in my opinion, mostly to the upside, which is what we got today. But in terms of like positioning, that was the difficulty, because it's harder to position on leverage whenever things are boring for multiple weeks. So that's why you guys saw me give like 4 or 5 spot calls that I accumulated over that period, because I'm just looking to pull in profits from all of those while things are pushing up today and that sort of thing. That's like let's say, like, that's the goal that I had with doing so. All right. And so what I'm thinking here on BTC is, yes, I do like this bullish candle that we had today. I do like that we flipped this resistance here at 63,200. As you can see on the 4-hour, that was what I was looking at. With the rejection that we had on Monday, I was basically looking for a pullback or a flip. In this case, no flip, so we got the pullback. And then a bounce from this 4-hour order block and this golden pocket fib pull. I think if you guys are following my Twitter, I posted this too along from right here. And once we had that bounce, we finally flipped local highs. That's a sign of strength for sure. And I like to see that. And so my issue though right now, guys, is I definitely want to see a reaction here at the 65,282 level, specifically on the daily. So as you can see, just looking left, daily closes above that level here, here, and I mean here and here is where you got rejections from that level. That's bearish. And so I don't want to see us come up to this level and reject. To me, that would be a sign of weakness. It's okay if you have something like, say, like this, where you hit the level and then meander a little bit under it. It's just, we personally, I would like to see Bitcoin start closing back above this. And then to me, you would be then very likely seeing, honestly, like highs again of the rally, which daily level up here. But this daily level already got hit, and you don't really have very much resistance outside of that. I mean, you have this daily fair value gap here that could provide some resistance. But I mean, other than that, I am not really in this daily right here. Already got hit. So nothing really until 71K if we can flip 65. So I think that is a distinct possibility. Getting on like a 12-hour chart. If I take just like a trend line regression. Sorry, guys. Apparently can't talk today. You've got one touch here, here, and then here that we're finally breaking. So I do consider that to be bullish. And you could, I suppose, make the argument that you have a sort of inverted head and shoulders pattern here. So those are a couple of different bullish factors that I think could lead Bitcoin to higher prices. We just got to be patient here. And again, like longing here, in my opinion, is not the play. I think resistance being where it is right now, it is a time to be cautious. And so looking for potential pullbacks would be what I'm interested in. Got a daily level here, 61,540, that I think could provide a nice bounce. Oh wait, that's the 12-hour. Never mind. 1 second. So that's just an order block. Got a 12-hour OP here. On the 4-hour, I think honestly like a clean retest level would be if you did come down to this 63,300 level for a retest. That would not surprise me. As you can see, if I pull this across too, like that is a nice level where BTC comes down, gets a pretty good bounce off of. So yeah, I would keep that level in mind as well. And you can strategize a trade there too. Something like that, then look for higher prices. All right. All right, perfect. Anyone have any questions over my BTC analysis? USDT dominance. Yeah, we can take a look at it. So USDT dominance. Essentially, we got rejection at the level I was looking at for USDT dominance here in this zone at 5%, getting a nice push down from here. And personally, my thoughts are kind of like this. We have trendline support coming up on USDTD that I think could provide at least a short-term bounce. I do like to see this rejection here on USDT dominance, because here's my thing, guys. Finally, we broke market structure here horizontally. So after this push down, once you made this swing low, you continuously just made higher lows and higher highs on this way up. And finally, you look to have put in a lower high here and a lower low here on the 4 hour, which is good. And so what I'm thinking is something like this: come up, get a bounce, and then that's essentially what I would be looking at. Is I think we come up, get a short-term bounce most likely, and then this is where that long opportunity I gave you guys on BTC is right here. I think we come up, take that liquidity, and then push down. Bearish retest style. So that's why I'm not looking to take any current longs. I'm looking for pullbacks and then going long from there. Do you have a question about like how to use USDT dominance by chance, or do you kind of get like what it's for, or like what it represents? I know Sherlock posts about USDT dominance himself, so I'm sure he's explained it a couple times too. Yeah, no problem. We'll look at AR too. We could also reject and go up. Do you mean like for USDT dominance? So like, I'm trying to think. Reject up here, or yeah. This is kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, I think we'll come up and get rejected here on USTD dominance, and this is where that BTC long area that I gave you guys a second ago. This is that same level essentially on BTC. Like, so they coincide with each other basically. This rejects from this level if we come up, and then BTC bounces off of its support, is what I'm thinking. Now, of course, I could be wrong, but I just see the clean. I see a clean setup with that. Oh yeah, so if it continues up, so on the other hand, if you basically come up and reclaim this level for something like that, that of course is a possibility. I'm not saying it's not, but if this happens, then BTC comes back to 60K again, basically, in this scenario. And today's candle gets bearishly engulfed, most likely, if you get a strong push like this on USDT dominance back up. All right. And then AR. This one is doing quite well for us, guys. So far, I'm glad that I bought spot again on this, because overall, guys, like, we hit TP1 right here and hit TP1 again. So hopefully you guys double dip with me. And personally, y'all, like, this is looking good. Like, I think it looks very good here. I am essentially expecting this to break out from where we are right now. Like, I think that it honestly sends to $66 coming up soon. Like, that would not surprise me even slightly if that happened. Do you guys kind of get the reasoning behind it? Let me show you. So basically what I'm thinking here is that, of course, yes, you're at range highs, which You've got rejected from 1 time here, 2 times here, 3 times. But in my opinion, the more times you reject from a level, the less times that it holds. And personally, guys, my thoughts are I don't really personally believe in triple tops, if that makes sense. So, what I mean by that is whenever you come up, you make a double top, right? That makes sense. That's fine. But then if you come back up and have a triple top, I expect either it to break there or to meander close to it and then eventually break like that. Like even something like this would be bullish. As long as you essentially hold your next support, this breaks to the upside. Is this breaking to the upside is my most likely scenario. Honestly, like if you were to take a long, it would look something like this. Stops under the last low. And I'm only saying like you could do it this way because I do think this breaks soon for something like that. And basically, like if you have your stops under the last low, market structure would still be intact as long as this held. And so higher prices, if it's going to happen, then this long setup would take you there. All right, guys. Anyone else have some altcoin requests by chance? Neocoin. Yeah, no problem. We'll check it out. Oh yeah, the USDT chart is up here, man. No, dude, you're good. Unity subscription, the one that you posted in channel, is the same as your classes. Yes. The one I posted in my channel. I don't think I posted anything in my channel about that. It was just on Twitter. Yeah, yeah. It's just Sherlock is in there too. It's just a different group that we're in, and they have their own subscription. It's basically like it's going to be similar to Foxian, where people pay to be in the group, that sort of thing. Let's look at JTO. Let me go to a different layout. We'll look at render first since I'm on here, man. Render was such a clean setup with this daily level right here. Can't believe I missed it. Such a perfect bounce too. Man. Oh my gosh, it was so I'm so mad I missed this. It's literally like a perfect SR level 2. Dang. Well, from here, basically two options. Either daily gets flipped or come down to next support. I mean, let's get on the 1 hourly. Got an hourly OB here. See if you got anything on the 4 hour. 4 hour OB. Okay. So this is my thoughts. Either you flip highs here, or long the pullback before render pushes even more. One or the other, kind of what I'm looking at. So to strategize this, just have your alerts set on your daily up here, and then you can set some limits there if you want, or you can set a notification, one or the other. JTO. I pull up the Coinbase chart on this. So overall, JTL looks great above this 3.6 level. Basically a historical SR point from here, the beginning of the listing, to its high in the 19th of March. So trying to think. I mean, the issue is like this. So you've got this daily order block that you're rejecting from. And I don't know, really, like, the difficulty is you'd want to see this whole thing flipped before you could potentially go to like this daily and higher prices and that. Which I think you would probably get higher prices over time on this. This chart looks really good. And I do like the daily RSI being above 50. That's good too. See if you got anything on the 4-hour. It's kind of similar with like the pullback scenario I was telling you about on render. Play the order block here, or you could play this important SR level. But I think this order block might be a nice scalp. Yeah, so go ahead and I'll get rid of that. Either you flip this SR or you come down to support. And I'm leaning towards the bottom scenario, not the top. I'm kind of both, Mikey. So like that's why I give both scenarios, is like I give the breakout scenario and the pullback. I like being open to both. And so yeah, you'll see me in my channel, I'll have both kinds. I'm probably like 50-50. But I am an RSI and momentum trader. So if you were to maybe not 50-50, like 60-40 breakout momentum, because that's a huge part of the RSI is catching those kinds of trades. Yeah, let's take a look at Sol or Vanry. Yeah, so I was actually looking at Vanry last night because I was liking what I was seeing with this structure. One of the coins that is making higher highs and higher lows here. Got this like uptrending channel. And from highs, you did break out of the supply, which I like. And you're bullishly crossing on the 4-hour of the 200 MA and EMA. So this one, honestly, like to me, looks quite good. You also hit the 886 here, essentially, from the swing low here to current high to this current low. So that looks really nice. And you've got, basically, you could think of this as 3 higher lows. So if you get a pullback, really just like probably even to this SR level, just a little lower, stops below the last low, you could potentially swing this back to highs. It's a pretty clean setup. Yeah, no problem. No problem. We'll look at Sol and then Sui. So Sol here having a nice push up. Basically reclaim it. It had a reclaim of mid range here. Well, 1 second. I'll do it. Probably do this a little bit of a different way so you guys can really see what I'm talking about. Got highs there. Lows here. Basically, on this Binance chart, you had a perfect bounce at mid range here. And to be honest, guys, like Sol looks really good. Like on the daily chart, I know I have all this crap under here from when I was trading Sol at those levels. But just focus on a couple things like daily bullish RSI divergence and having this mid-range pump like this. I personally think that, you know, the thing that makes me the most bullish on Sol would be if you flip range highs on the daily. So I want to see 159.7 have a daily close above. And not only that, but you need to have your next daily candle retest it or just close again above it. Like 2 daily candle closes above that level are necessary. Just 1 daily candle close above this level and then the next daily dumping back into it would not be good. There's no trigger if that happens. You need to see the two, like at least 2 candles close above there. If so, then that would be good news. Then I think you start pushing back into this range. Like basically what you want to see is exactly what happened right here with these 2 candles. Close above the level and then the next candle came, retested it perfectly, and then kept going. Something like that. And then last one, guys, because I have to go to the dentist. I gotta, I haven't been the best. I gotta admit, I'm not perfect at everything, y'all. I got a couple cavities, so y'all can rag on me a little bit. I deserve it, but I gotta get those filled in. So what can you do? Gotta get them fixed. So thing that I like on Sui is I was looking at this earlier already. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying that's why my analysis is so fast. I like the fill of this wick, and you are above this daily support zone here. So thing that I like is like invalidations here are very clear. What I'm looking at is, either this would be a good time to buy some spot and then buy more when it comes down to this daily. The bottom of this zone would be next levels after that. Because overall, guys, like pulling this across this 8927 level, very clean on Sui. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I haven't gotten any cavities for like 6 or 7 years, so having a couple after a stint like that, I can be okay with. All right. Anyone have any other questions or anything else you want to look at or all right. Sweet. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming to the stream today. That was a good time. Looked at some coins. You know, some green candles out there on BTC can really boost morale. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the day today and seeing, a push up in your spot ports. That's always a good thing to see, right? So yeah, you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will catch you guys next Wednesday for another stream. Thanks, King Precious. Thanks, Gooner. Thanks, Barrett. Thanks, Mikey. Thanks, DIK100, Anit, Greg, Pratt, all you guys. Thank you. And I'll catch you guys next